This is the last Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the next order of business is the adoption of the agenda. We have moved by Commissioner Myjack, supported by Commissioner Haw. All in favor of adopting the agenda? Please vote. The next order of is to approve the minutes. Right, when do we have public? Oh, there we go. Approve the minutes. So we have Commissioner Myjack and we have Commissioner Leonetti. All in favor, please vote. Okay, the next order of business is public participation. Is any member of the public wishing to speak? You have 5 minutes. Public participation going once, going twice. We close public participation. The next order of business is agreement with Dignified Removal Services, Remains Removal and Transport Services. Is Mr. Rodella here? Okay. If we could just state your name for the record and hope that you'll be able to give us a little insight on this agenda item.
Yeah, I'm Patty Rowland. I'm the manager over at the morgue.
Okay.
So this is our body removal service bid, and it's the individual that we selected is our current service, and we went with them. Based on scenes and hospitals, they were the low bid coming in, if you look at numbers from what we had from the previous year. So, and we've been extremely happy with the service that they've provided to the community. We've worked with them for years.
Okay, are there any questions? Yes, Commissioner Kleinfeld.
No, I was going to make a motion.
Oh, so are you making a
I'll
motion to
I'll make a
approve?
motion, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Just a quick question,
Sure.
Leanne. Yeah, just a question. I'm
Commissioner
just
Myjack.
curious as far as how this works. Can you explain in 2 minutes how this removal service works, the flow process from the morgue and what these folks would do?
Sure.
Thank you.
Once we've decided that a body's going to come in for an exam, we would contact the removal service, and they attend any scene where there would be a decedent. So that could be a hospital, the street, a home. We've also had to have them go to funeral homes to recover decedents that we've had to bring back in for an exam after additional information's been brought to our attention. So they're available anywhere in the county, and they've actually had to go outside of the county for cases that we've had to bring back into.
So they bring the body initially to the morgue the first time? or-
Correct, that's it.
Okay, and then it comes to you guys, and you guys do what you do, and then their services are no longer
Correct,
needed?
the family members will decide on a funeral
Gotcha.
home, and then at that point, then the body is
Interesting. Thank you.
transported by the
Thank
funeral
you.
homes.
Okay, just for the record, Commissioner Kleinfeld's motion was supported by Commissioner Romano. We have another speaker, and that is Commissioner Leonetti.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Does this include, I was just done talking to a nurse in Beaumont Hospital. Does this include the unfortunate individuals who really don't have family members that step forward? Is this, the funds in here, part of this $92,000 that we're appropriating?
Well, we transport any individual that's considered a case. So we also do have cases that are considered storage,
Right.
where there's no family actually on scene at the time, and they're brought in just to maintain as storage until we can locate family.
Yeah, it's sometimes family, from what I understand, in certain circumstances, sometimes family doesn't come forward, and then there's decisions that have to be made, and then there's a public administrator that gets involved.
Correct.
I just wanted to know if this amount of money that we're appropriating is part of that goes with that, or no?
Well, the money is used to bring the body in.
Just for bringing the
yeah.
body there,
Mhm.
okay.
But we would store the body. Those are indigent cases
Right.
that we consider. So they would be brought into the county until we can work through the paperwork to get the, proper burial or cremation services
Okay. And then if the public administrator gets involved in one of these cases where they're indigent, or if there's family or something, does any of the transportation services ever recouped? Any of the, like if we're bringing the body there, do it never get it recouped?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other speakers? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second. Please vote. Okay, the motion passes. The next item on the
Thank you.
agenda.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is a budget amendment for the community mental health consulting services for $18,000.
I'll make the motion, Mr. Chair.
Motion is made by Commissioner Myjack and supported by Commissioner Kraft. Do we have somebody to speak on the budget amendment? Great,
Yes.
thank you very much. Give you a
Good
little
afternoon.
background.
I'm Dave Pankatai, the CEO for Macomb County CMH. The $18,000 is for a part of the contract agreement for a financial consultant to consult with the Mental Health Authority Task Force that was formed by the CMH Board of Directors in conjunction with the Board of Commissioners and the County Exec Office. We do have Crystal and Phil representing the Board of Commissioners on that task force. Steve Schmiegel from the Office of the County Executive. We also have providers of community mental health services, family members, and people who have been served in our system. So we're getting down to the detailed portion of the investigation, and Richard comes very highly recommended. He's gone through the transition process with a number of other counties and regions, and we're very hopeful that he'll be able to answer our detailed questions and give us the information we need to make the final recommendation.
Okay, thank you. I have Commissioner Kleinfeld with a question.
Thank you. The first thing is the engagement fees. It says a monthly retainer of $3,000. Is that an indication that it won't be $3,000 a month plus expenses, or because the word retainer usually means they put it up front in case that's how much you end up spending. So is it definitely going to be $3,000 a month?
It's my understanding from talking to him, it is a guaranteed 1 day on site for the $3,000. If we need him over and above that, there's an hourly rate that would come into play, but I have no intention of triggering the hourly payment.
Okay, and the second question was, I notice in here it says January 1 of each year there would be a 5% annual increase. It looks like we're planning on using them. Is it for a year or for, I didn't look at it.
We're looking at 1 year with half
Okay,
of it coming from.
So if we're looking at 1 year, why did we agree to an increase in January of 5%? This is a 1 year thing. We shouldn't be paying 5%. We're in October, so we're literally, in 2 months, we're going to do a 5% increase, and I kind of protest that, and I'll bet if you said to them, no, not going to do that, they wouldn't walk away. So that we don't have the authority, well, I don't know how it works with this situation about amending a contract, but I don't want to pay 5% more in 2 months. I'm bothered by that. Matter of fact, I'll wait till January 1st to let you start rather than pay that 5%. Like to hear what other commissioners think.
Well, Commissioner Romano is next on our list.
Thank you, Mr. Director. Thanks for showing. I just want to make sure I understand this. So they come in with 1 day of service per month, which is an 8-hour day that we have, I imagine, and they're
Yes.
charging us $3,000. Does that sound right, or am I way out of line here?
That's a correct number. The hourly rate comes out to $375 an hour. He is a highly paid consultant.
Thank you.
Through the chair, can I respond to?
Yes, please.
The way this is written, the Board of Commissioners would be limited to the $18,000. But I do have every intention of talking to Richard. When I see him, he'll be on site the 25th of this month about the increase in January, to see if we can move that to a 12-month increase.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other speakers? I see none. The motion before us right now is a motion to approve. Is that correct?
Forward to full board.
Oh, to forward to full board. All right, Commissioner
Sorry, I
Kraft?
popped on late. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Dave, is there a way that we can speak to him about that 5% increase in January and possibly get that changed?
Yeah, he'll be on site October the 25th, like I said. And we've been going back and forth, and he has been very open to making the amendments to the agreement. The most recent was to start it September 1st, and we moved it back to October to permit his schedule and ours. So I don't anticipate any problem, but I will bring it up to him.
So I'd like to see it hopefully out before full board.
Well, full board is the 24th. You intend to speak with him on the 25th. Any chance you might be able to speak to him before that?
I can try. I'm going on vacation. I'll be back on the 21st, but I will see if I can have somebody else follow up with him. My CFO's been in direct communication with him.
Okay. Seeing no other speakers, the motion now is to forward this to full board. Please vote. Okay, the motion is passed onto full board. I would hope that you might be able to get us an answer by full board, because I know there's some concerns. There's 2 no votes.
I'll send an email right now.
Thank you very much. Okay, the next item on our agenda is presentations. We have Kevin Evans from the Martha T. Berry for his monthly report. So Kevin, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Commissioner. I will try and get you back on time here. I can't turn back time, but like Cher can, but here I am. All right. The first item is, here we go. As my board member, Reverend Pat Thompson indicated, we still enjoy some of the highest census levels certainly in the county, state, and country. If you take a look, I did show the average census is now up to 83%. If you look at that little worded line there, if we were actually just average, that's where our census would be. But that thick brown line shows you that we are a much-needed resource. We continue to be. And we have actually the highest average census year-to-date in 5 years.
Kevin, before we go forward, I think I need to entertain a motion to receive and file the report.
Of course, I'm sorry.
That's my bad. Yes, Commissioner Leonetti moves and Commissioner Kraft supports. Thank you. Sorry about that. Please continue.
Very good. With the completion of our kitchen, substantial completion, construction, it was almost a year since construction began. We had a number of issues, as my board member had shared. We're finally using our kitchen and our celebration center. We had actually coffee with staff from Senator Lucido's office, and I'll have another one of those in November. The most significant event that we had in the last month was a memorial service. Our residents wanted that opportunity, and we didn't have a space for that. We do now, and it was just an outstanding, meaningful event for our staff and our family members to be able to get together and to remember and reflect. The budget request you have sent, Crystal, did you get a copy of the amendment? It wasn't a budget request, I'm sorry. It was a resolution that came from my board. I want to talk a little bit about that. It is a resolution that says that they believe this is the best way to go after all the conversations we've had. But I also know the commissioners have been talking about other opportunities, and I want you to know I'm not married to anything. I just am asking for help. $7 million in debt was put upon a facility that was supposed to be independent, and without discussing that. One of the reasons we're having a rate cut this year is because of the way that OPEB was handled. Now, we had to have regulatorily required improvements to our dining services. We had to have that. And we did that, which was about $4.2 million. With that in mind, if we had not done that, we would have been out of compliance with federal rules, and in 4 years, we would have been having the same conversation, except we would have had a broken building. So since we've been talking about this, I first brought the potential cash issues July of 2018, that we might have some cash flow issues by the end of this year. We've been discussing a lot of opportunities and different ways of looking at how we can get through this. I know in years past, this commission had just funded money into Martha T. Berry, and I'm not asking for that in any way. I am asking for some help on this because it was nothing that our board decided upon. It was just, decades of decisions made with good intention that is now, and I believe that the bond, when it was put in place, was done with good intention, but it did not pay attention to the experts in our funding. And when they did that, they actually hurt us long-term. So I need a little bit of help to get through until we pay off the bond for the front of the house. And then, however way that is, the millage would be most beneficial for Martha T. Berry. Again, I'm a direct person too. But I also know that in this climate, I've been told on more than one occasion, it is about politics. Although that saddens me to hear, as we're related to elders, I do understand the realities of what's happening this year. With that in mind, I'm still asking for a decision of some sort from this commission to help Martha T. Berry through the next few years. Not on loan forgiveness, but I will tell you that there is no agreement that we have on paying OPEB in the joint operating agreement, nor in the building use agreement. And there's no agreement that we have that we're to be paying back a bond that the county put in place. Even so, I want to be a good partner. I want to help if I'm able. And I'm not asking you to just throw money at us. We're running the place beautifully. I've shared on a couple of occasions our EBITDA, and it's our legacy costs that are hurting us. And it was through decades of decisions. So with that, I am grateful for all of your support vocally here. I'm grateful that you understand what a great resource we are. I'm asking for help. It doesn't have to happen today, but it has to happen soon. I also, on a more fun note, annually we have an awards dinner where we recognize some of our outstanding staff and a community member that's really done amazing work for us. And it's also a fundraiser where we get money for things that people just don't have money for. We are the social safety net, and Medicaid has sometimes a 1.5 or 2 year delay on specialty items, or dentures, or glasses, or hearing aids, or the foundation helps pay for things like that. They've also got a van to help us with transportation, and have funded a large portion of our cafe, which is already being, even though it's not open for food sales, it's being used right now because it's just a great place for families and loved ones to meet. So I hope, I've got some cards here, just a save the date reminder. If I can give those with Mike to pass out, if we could do that. Love to see you there.
Okay. Do we? Great. We do have a couple of speakers, Kevin, or rather questions. Commissioner Kleinfeld?
Thank you. First of all, the OPEB you're talking about is employees that worked there, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So I think I understand the rationale on the other side of that, too. You may have just come in, but I think there'd be a huge fight if when we were separating, the position was, we don't ever have to cover any of that. But with respect to the millage, I just want you to be aware, if you look at this board, and I'm not saying what I'm going to do or not going to do. Obviously, I'm going to gather information and everything. This was a board that agonized over placing the jail millage on the ballot for a long period of time and could not pass the 50 cents a month phone 911 fee. I do think with the makeup of the board, I think you have an uphill battle on that. Just letting you know that. I don't have anything else.
All right. I do
Thank
understand,
you.
if I may respond.
Sure.
I do understand that, and I'm hoping that the board looks at it on a case-by-case basis and recognize this isn't an in perpetuity millage, and it isn't something that gets put on the ballot. It is something that it was regulatorily put in place by the wisdom of people that created Public Act 280 decades ago, understanding that from time to time, the medical care facility would need assistance just like this. It's a small amount compared to everything else that's going on, but it's a critical amount for us. It's huge for us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Leonetti.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I understand your report, you're going to need an answer by next month. Is that correct?
It has entirely to do with how you handle the budget process. We have put some sort of help in there. We use the millage dollars as a placeholder in our budget, so you can see it. We were transparent that was income that would come in,
Okay.
and if it doesn't come in, what our budget would look like otherwise. We submitted that directly, and I believe that the chair asked for us to send a copy directly to you, which I'll be doing shortly. He attended our board meeting last week. We explained the same thing to him, and he said that oftentimes when it comes to this commission, it isn't always the same work product that was delivered. So, I'm sure that the executive office creates it in a way that helps them figure that out. So I'll get a copy of what we sent to them directly to you so that you all can see how we sent that.
Okay. The other question is this. When you were here a couple months ago, I had advised or talked to you about maybe talking to the treasurer about the delinquent tax fund. Have any attempts been made by you to seek that as a possible option for a loan?
Yeah, I did, actually, and they made it clear that no loans would be forthcoming.
So Treasurer Rideout told you no?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. We have Commissioner Sauger.
Yeah, Kevin, what's your current population over there?
We're currently serving 207 out of 217, which puts us about 95% occupancy.
And it's been holding steady for quite a while, hasn't it?
Yes, yeah. As a matter of fact, if you take a look, many of the referrals come from other nursing facilities who can't manage the Medicaid side of it like we do. So we're a much-needed resource.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just a quick question. You may have already answered this. You said you submitted I guess, a budget proposal to the administration. What would happen if the millage was put on the ballot and rejected by voters? What would happen at that point?
Well, this one actually doesn't go on the ballot for the voters. This is one that is put on, under Public Act 280, for expansion of services in any facility. The county commissioners can, with voice vote, give up to a 0.1 millage in any given single year for the purpose of that. This is not an ongoing program. This is a point, this commission can just do that in full board, make that vote, and then it would be done.
Okay, and it's for expansion of services? And
Yes, that is correct.
does this qualify as an expansion of a service if we're paying off an old debt?
It has to do with the construction that we just completed in cash. So you'd be reimbursing me for the expansion of services.
I see. Okay. I see no other speakers, so with that, we have a motion to receive and file, and ask members to please vote. The motion to receive and file is passed. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate your frankness, and I understand your difficulty with this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is correspondence. We need a motion to receive and file. Commissioner Romano makes a motion. Commissioner Hawes seconds the motion. Do you have any discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Okay, correspondence is passed. New business. Any commissioners have new business?
Yes.
Commissioner Romano.
Thank you, Chair. At this time, if the commissioners are not aware, we have a guest here at the commission office. Jenna is here from Germany. She's here as an exchange student. And if you'd like to speak to her after the meeting, she'd be more than willing to speak to you. But she's here to learn about what's going on here in this government, and hopefully we're going to have her teach her something, or maybe she can teach us. That's all I have. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other and welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Does she
today.
want to say anything? Any comments, your name, where you're from?
No.
Nothing like that? You sure?
No.
Okay.
Okay, any other new business from commissioners? Okay, seeing, entertain a motion to, oh wait, we need public participation. Any members of the public wish to participate? Once, twice? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion is made by Commissioner Romano, supported by Commissioner Kraft. Any discussion? All in favor, please vote, or against, till vote. We are adjourned.